Hi, and welcome to FrazlCast. Climb aboard the GNOME train.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Please make sure to keep your limbs and experimental instruments inside the train at all times. And now, on with the show.
Hello, Internet. It is Frazley the Awesome Gnome. Each week, I am joined by awesome people from Azeroth and beyond. This is episode 78, Keeping a Hawgeye on BlizzCon. On this episode, we chat about BlizzCon, the classic demo, what we predict, and we read off your amazing predictions for what is to come. Let's use my customized ultra-safe transporter to head on over to meet up with this week's guest. I am over at the Smug Harbor Inn, and I am joined by Hawgeye.
Hey, how you doing? You know, is it the Smug Harbor? I go to the Snug Harbor.
Oh, Snug Harbor. Okay. Around here, I try to order a beer, and they're like, no, we won't serve GNOME. So I go with the Smug Harbor Inn for that.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that, but now I know when I see that thirsty gnome hanging out in the corner, I'll know for sure who it is.
Yes, it'll be me. Like, hey, I want some food and beer, and you're not giving me it.
That's right.
And Lady Emma wasn't able to make it tonight due to a family emergency. So we miss Lady Emma, and we can't wait to talk with her again. So please reach out to Emma and tell them that you missed them. Definitely sad because we were going to have Gilroy Site and trivia tonight. But we have a lot of other good stuff to talk about tonight.
Lots of new stuff.
And some classic stuff, too. So BlizzCon is coming, and we are going to celebrate today. It won't quite be your regular BlizzCon prediction show. We're not going to go deep into stuff, but we did ask the community for a lot of predictions.
I was looking down there, and you have a lot of really interesting predictions. And Ro, he just went on with a bunch of predictions.
Oh, I know. Ro and Alessandra, both. I was like, wow. I mean, I want people to answer. They delivered. So thank you, community.
Alessandra, I mean, steadfast.
Yes. And always finding great tidbits in the community. I mean, I'm always looking for stuff, and they always seem to deliver. They're like, Alessandra is an amazing part of the Blizzard community.
Amen, brother.
Well, speaking of the community, Epicinsanity, what time is it?
It's time to go around the table.
Great idea! What have we been up to recently?
This will be my 6th BlizzCon I've gone to in a row.
Nice.
And so I am getting so excited and looking forward to that. I had never been to a BlizzCon, even though I live maybe 8 miles away from BlizzCon. All those years I didn't go. And what happened is that the Convert to Raid podcast decided to form a guild, as you know, and it's grown to be huge.
Yes.
I think that was the first time I actually had a taste of being in a Warcraft community. And since they were going to have a party and they were going, I should go too. So I finally bought a ticket, or that was 2013 or so. That kind of led into a podcast that I did called BlizzCon Countdown. I did it initially with my son for the first year. Then he went on to play every other game that Steam had to offer, and he went to work for some gaming companies till he realized that there's a big flat income area, opportunity area called QA, and it's sort of like levels out at a pinch above minimum wage for all you potential gaming folks out there. And it's sort of one of those jobs that, shouldn't you be happy that you're here?
Yeah.
So eventually he kind of decided that wasn't the route. And he's actually, this semester, he's finished up his teaching credential. He's going to go teach elementary kids, and he's got a gift for interacting and teaching children. So he's going to be a much more valuable asset to the world as a teacher than as a designer of monsters. So that's really cool. I'm really happy for him. So I went ahead and continued with doing BlizzCon Countdown, sort of like from the summer through the fall. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Got to know all kinds of people, all of them the wonderful kinds. Having a microphone, I think you've learned this, having a microphone or a camera gives you an opportunity to talk to anyone that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Tell me, what have you found out on that? Are there people that you were surprised would want to talk to you, but you give them a camera or you give them an invite and bang, they're there?
Yeah. And what's been fun is There are people that I've never heard on a podcast, and I've only talked to them maybe once in voice chat, maybe once in text chat. And when they get behind the microphone, they're a little nervous the first time. Quite a few of them start their own podcast. And I'm like, I love that.
Yeah.
I remember I did my first podcast with All Things Azeroth. I was so nervous. I was so jittery. And now I podcast every week because it's so much fun.
Well, yeah. And then I don't know if you're still doing it, but then you'll also do these little moments to live by or thoughts of the day. I don't know if you're still doing those, but
yes,
you're just looking for opportunities to get out there and share now. And I really appreciate what you're doing out there. What's
fun is being able to connect with people and the impact. I remember Thorn and This one time told me I would just like post these selfies on the Lagging Balls Discord because I'm like, hey, it keeps me accountable. I then hear on one of the streams they did that my walks inspired them. I'm like, I was just posting it because if I don't post it, I'm going to be lazy and not do my walks.
It's like having what was it called, My Food Day or whatever it is. It's sort of like, even if you're just accountable to yourself, having it someone else kind of looking over you is helpful.
Oh, it is.
Well, okay. And back to the podcast issue, that kind of comes up there because at least for now, I've discontinued doing a podcast. My wife, last year, she's going, you haven't done any podcasts yet. What's up with that? I didn't even know she cared. And she's anti-gaming for the most part, mainly because I've overdone it over the years a few times.
So haven't we all? I mean, I raided Molten Core when I was a teen, and there were nights that I barely saw in my family, and I was like, it has to stop. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I've often heard people say, if I would have had this game during my high school, college, grad school years, whatever, I don't know if I would have finished. I'm glad I didn't discover it till after I had accomplished what I need to accomplish.
Yes.
Well, it's just, and then BlizzCon itself has just been really interesting for me. I know you're not going to make it this year. I trust one of these years you're going to be able to put it on the budget, put it on the schedule, sleep in my garage if you need to, especially now that you've developed more contacts. You would just have a total blast. You got to get here.
What's cool about seeing people and seeing, like, whenever I see a picture of somebody, it helps me know even more that there's a person behind the avatar, that there's somebody with real feelings, real emotions.
Yeah. And speaking of people behind the avatar, lovely Lita.
Yes.
I mean, I have talked to her. I follow her morning. In the morning, she says, "Morning, Tweeties. It's time for coffee."
I love those.
And that just brightens my morning.
Mine too.
Yes. What I need to do though, is I need to have a list. I need to have a hit list of the people that I'm going to seek out, whether I find them or not. Like, I'd hate to find out that though I was busy at the Hilton bar and forgot to seek out Lita.
Yeah.
That would slay me with regret.
Someone was saying that you have to have an intentionality at BlizzCon, otherwise it's just going to go away.
What's great, though, is being particularly in CTR, and this would be open to anyone, there's a schedule every day, starting on Tuesday, of different things. Hey, we're going to go to the Anaheim Packing House, or we're going here, we're going there. And there's all kinds of get-togethers going on if you have your ears open. I happen to be wearing, this is the LED from last year, Blizz Nerds. And then I've got my ticket that our friend Ursangus from CTR made for me. Nice. And it's from 2014. But newsflash, I'm too cheap to replace it. Plus, he did a heck of a job on my hunter.
Yeah.
With the red beard. So I'm not giving it up. I've got badges from the past number of years, and I'm looking forward to getting more this year. It's home-like. I got anxiety. I deal with, I got to meet them. All the normal stuff that we go through in our daily lives when we're looking forward to meeting someone, but we're anxious about meeting someone. And I'm sure over the weekend, I'm going to say at least 6 stupid things to people that I'm trying to meet, trying to be funny, trying to be relevant, try to show my witty side, and I'm going to show my idiot side instead. But you have to accept yourself and accept the fact that you're going to say idiot stuff from time to time.
Oh, yeah. I was talking with Anastasia of General Chat, and they said typically in their experience, they worry about what someone thinks about them, and that person has not even thought about any of the flub that they made. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So for now, I'm retired, but I'm kind of getting the itch. The only thing is I have to wait another 9 months before I can scratch it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you gave me a chance to scratch.
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting to have you on because I remember I had so much fun when I was on the BlizzCon countdown last year, and I wasn't even going to the event, but it was an honor on your podcast last year.
Thank you. May I return the compliment and again say I really appreciate what you've been doing with your own podcast, actually producing, having a soundboard, doing the whole wacky Pat Krane thing.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Pat Crane's been my example in, I'm excited. Tomorrow, this is a tangent. Helicon Gaming is coming out with something called Go XLR. I don't even know anything other than what they're showing, but it has like auto tuning, it has voices. I'm so giddy for tomorrow because I'm going to order it as soon as I can.
I don't even know what a Helicon is. I thought maybe it was some sort of gnomish invention, or am I wrong on that?
I'm betting there's some gnomes who work for Helicon Gaming. Like I know some people who work there. They haven't revealed anything other than what's public on the Twitter. Someone showed a bunch of audio equipment and like, I have all that. And then they showed a blurred out picture of the Go XLR. I'm like, I need that. That's the fun stuff. And then I'm going to add like voices. I'm sorry, Ali, I'll probably be adding some singing even more.
Oh, we're on a shirt, right?
Yes, we're on a shirt.
I love that. That's the silliest thing. And then you give someone credit for the words. We're on a shirt. We're on a shirt.
I love it though, because Tosh Mifune, who sent me the Twitter, was like, "Hey, here are the lyrics." I was like, "We gotta make that song." I have been like so inspired to create songs. I'm not great at it, but I love doing it anyway.
Hey, speaking of songs and entertainment, they announced within the past 24 hours who our live ending folks are.
Yes.
Tell us who that is.
So they've announced Train of Hey Soul Sister.
80s rock.
And like Drops of Jupiter. Nothing Can Stop a Train. I had to say that.
Yeah.
And then Christian Name. I did not get a chance today to listen to their songs.
You, sir, need to be informed, and I'm glad I'm here to inform you. Christian Nairn is Hodir from Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
And I think it was last year or the year before where he DJ'd in the big plaza between the hotels and in front of the convention center, and people loved it. I didn't catch it, but people were crazy about it.
I heard about that. Yes.
That's the man.
Okay, I will definitely have to look up their music.
Okay, it's not their music. He's a DJ. He plays other people's music.
Okay.
Tell me, who's the last person? And had you ever heard of her before?
Oh, absolutely. Lindsay Sterling. I love on Pandora and Spotify listening to classical music. And Lindsay Sterling comes up so many times. And today I was listening to some of Lindsay Sterling's stuff. In fact, I was dancing in my kitchen. My cat looks at me like, "What are you doing?"
You act like that's something new for you to do.
Absolutely.
No, not new.
No, it's not new. My cat should be used to it. And I found my favorite song by Lindsay Sterling is Crystallize. Just so many great moments of it.
I mean, I've only listened to about 4 of her tunes, but it was Round Table Rival.
Okay.
That's got a real Scottish reel behind it.
Ooh.
And a lot of drama. And I mean, it could be someone's new raid theme. It is awesome. But, I wouldn't call it classical. I mean, it's exciting music. I have to say, when I hear classical, I get a little droopy-eyed and a little sleepy. But when I heard her music, other than some ballads, it's mainly exciting music. Exciting music.
Yes. It is great music to listen to because a lot of it has no vocals. And when you're studying and like doing different things, it is perfect for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very impressed. I mean, I'm a fan of One Day, and I'll probably slip in or out just to see Christian for the DJ, but I'm expecting to be enthralled by Lindsay Sterling.
Yeah.
I'm geared up. I've prepped myself to be excited.
Last year, I had not heard of Muse. I've heard the music, but I had not heard of them. But I realized I danced this year to one of their songs. I danced to Muse Resistance.
Was that Cat Kitchen music, or was that actually somewhere else?
That was actually ballroom dancing. So we do a showcase.
Wow. Oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun, and Muse does an amazing job. I need to be better at knowing names of bands and artists, because there are some amazing people. I hear the music, I don't know who did it.
I know. Well, that covers the live show. I bet there's other things you want to get to on your list of hot topics here.
I've pretty much this past week, I did some World Quest and Story Quest recently, trying to get the rep in Pathfinder. Ran a few retro raids with the Pod Before the Con Warcraft panelists last Sunday.
Oh,
it was a lot of fun.
Good team building.
Yes. I remember Raiders were saying, there's a few things I just learned. I'm like, yep. I actually had talked with a few of the different podcasters. What's amazing is by podcasting, I get to meet so many awesome people.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. Oh, the gentleman who is doing Spencer.
Yes.
Spencer HD. Before he was hosting the podcast that he's on, which is Starting Zone, right?
Yes.
He said, hey, and I'll tell you what, it's the best way to build your Skype book. You know, at that point, he was doing all the production and setting up interviews for Convert to Raid, and he gave me that inside secret. So,
oh yeah,
shh, secret.
Spencer does so much great stuff at the Starting Zone. I love listening to that show. I listen to it before going to LFR because typically I will learn something very good from the Starting Zone.
Yeah.
And then I've been trying to just figure out internet at work and home. I've been plagued a lot with the old gods, but tonight it's working great. We're on Twitch again. So I fired Rathion, who was my server technician. Hired a new undead server technician called Bomar, and Bomar is on the Horde, but Bomar is a mercenary for the Alliance, so that they'll work with different people.
Yeah.
There's no video on Twitch, but the audio seems to be going through fine. So I'm learning how to do better at that. And thank you, Streamlabs OBS. Everything's running fine. And that's taken a lot of my time this week, just testing that out, trying to do different things. I paused live shows last Thursday because it failed halfway through the show. But you ever have that thing in your head just bugging you and just itching at you? And you're like, I gotta get this fixed. I just can't let it stop. It's there and it keeps bugging you.
Yeah.
That's how that was. And I was like, I gotta get this figured out. Live shows are not 100% confirmed. I want to try this for a few more shows before I add it back to the schedule. And I'm thinking right now I'll probably move shows back up from, I used to be doing it at 6:15 p.m. Pacific, probably to 6 p.m. Pacific, because it'll be done a little bit sooner. And it's just easier to remember than like 6:15. I moved it to 15 because I used to have something happening right before, but now Thursdays have pretty much been podcasting. The great thing is always be experimenting, always try new things, and never let obstacles stop you. I've seen a lot of people, and it's understandable. Obstacles will pop up in podcasting and people will want to stop. For me, I've turned it into a game. Can I fix this? Can I figure this out? Can I make this better? The show has improved over time because I've done that. I mean, it's a lot of work and things will pop up that you don't expect, but it's so much fun.
Outstanding.
So we're going to go back a little bit. So for BlizzCon, we got some big news. So Blizzard revealed what's going to happen with the WoW Classic demo. So every character will start at level 15, and they decided at 15 because you get a good amount of talent at that point. The demo will cap out at 19. They're going to have Westfall and Barons, and they said there will be Barons chat. So that will be fun. I'm going to have to roll Horde just to watch all of the Trump jokes, all of the Thunder Fury. I mean, everything. There's going to be, because right now general chat's horrible, but vanilla general chat was the worst. So
it's like trade chat, except more so.
Yes,
I saw someone who offered 2 macros that'll be necessary to survive in Barons and Westfall, respectively. In Westfall, it was / have you seen the Defias Messenger? And then in Barons, it's, and I don't know the name, have you seen so-and-so's wife?
Mankirk's, yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a major community contribution.
Those are classic. And if no one's in chat, you'll be able to open up battle.net and talk with people in there as well. So they're going to have that. And they're going to have right-click player reporting. Even though it's going to be classic, you want to behave yourself.
Well, I wonder if things like, are the resources going to be tapped once and gone? Like your mining?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one can see this, but you just held your head like you have a giant Excedrin headache. Oh, yeah.
I forgot the fact that even multi-mob tapping for non-quest specific mobs was only changed for Legion. When you're going around killing stuff, you could no longer like be in a group and everybody kill. It was one mob unless it had that little exclamation point.
Yeah, it's like a one tag, or a party could tag, I think, and still get the XP.
Yes.
I think I'm fine with being confined to one zone and capped at 19.
Me too. I'm excited to try it. Just make sure that you have a 64-bit operating system, because there will be no support for 32-bit. So long 32-bit.
Okay, why don't you tell us about 32 versus 64 and what do most of us have? If we have Windows 10, do we automatically have? Tell us about that. What does that mean as far as limitations?
So there is a 32-bit version of Windows 10. I believe they dropped the 32-bit version of WoW for BFA. So I believe if you can run BFA, you should be able to run. They had to drop it because the code needs to use more of the bits. I'm not as versed in like the 32 versus 64. All I know is I'm running 64-bit. They have removed it from Classic because they're running it on the modern architecture. One last thing with the demo, there will be a time limitation. They said that it's because they're going to have people at BlizzCon also on it. So there will be a cooldown. So once you reach the time, you can keep going back for more sessions and your progress will be saved. But you will be asked at certain points to leave the game. And I can understand, because a lot of people are going to be hounding the servers for this because we have only a few days to play.
Yeah, your note indicates there may be a time limitation on how long people can play the Classic demo when it first goes up, including those at home. Not used to that idea. That's like we're all sharing the same servers, whether you're at the con or at your home.
Yeah, which is really cool. The fact that they're going to be able to have these servers at BlizzCon talking to the internet, that there's a big undertaking on that, because I would typically have thought that they would have had just these isolated servers at BlizzCon, so that way, in case things go down with the internet at BlizzCon, you're not confined. But it sounds like they're going to have them be talking to each other.
Well, if we have the same friends list, I'll be looking for
Nice.
you there so we can test this.
A funny thing, I already have WoW Classic downloaded to my computer right now. There was a pre-download available, and you can now download ahead of time. And Alice on Discord had a suggestion, because I did not see it popping up, but you have to log out of Battle.net, not just close it, but log out and log back in. And once I did that, Classic showed up in the menu, so it is now downloaded. I downloaded it to my non-SSD because I only have 256 gigabytes on the SSD, so I figured Classic, I can put that on the bigger hard drive. It may take me a bit longer, but Classic took longer to play.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try to download it. I think I've got my ticket registered now. I know I entered my token so that I could get my in-game goodies, though I don't think they've arrived yet. That's okay.
The WoW stuff should be in your inventory now. So if you look into your collections, you should have your banners and your cloaks.
Well, see, there you go. I was looking for it in my mailbox. They dropped it right into my collections, huh?
Yeah, and I've heard some people say that it's in their Battle.net gifts tab. But for me, it appeared right in my collection. You just got to click on it and open it up. It's the same way when we got the Dread Raven ship.
Yeah, I fell for that. I got it too. I figured I was going to use 6 months sooner or later, so I might as well make some money off of it.
That ship is amazing. Like every time you open out Bell's Hole, it's awesome.
Yeah, ding ding. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me bring up a sore subject. Okay, so Frazzle, where will I find my? I know I always get either a mount or I get a mount and a battle pet every time I go to BlizzCon. Where will I find that this year?
You'll find those next year when you purchase next year's ticket, because this year we only got a cloak and a toy. I mean, I get it. We're getting a Classic demo. I kind of love the mounts and pets. This isn't my favorite BlizzCon for the for the goodies.
Look at them being nice, being all nice. And I don't know if you have it here, but I know in 8.1 we have an option to buy a mount. It's an underwater mount.
Yes, And did you also, I heard from Ali that if you hold on to your doubloons from Island Expeditions, you can now get pirate transmog. So I don't have that in the notes.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And you know, one thing that won't have transmog will be Classic. The patch for Classic is out, and it is going to be on 1.13, and they already have the login screen and music, so you can go back and relive it. Interesting thing, WoW had pointed out that the data format is a more modern format for Classic. So it is closer to how data is formatted for patch 7.3.5 PTR, but it's not using the BFA. So they must have been starting Classic's work around that PTR date.
Well, some of us are listening, including me. I have a dumb look on my face. What does that mean, that the data format is a more modern format, but not the most modern format? What does that mean to me? Why?
All of the stuff in WoW is kept in the engine, how it reads, like what models to pull up, what NPC to show at this point. And the way that it is formatted is kept into a database. And then the game says, I need X and Y, but I don't need Q at this time. Okay, now I need P. And Blizzard, to keep improving the game, keeps modifying the engine. That's what I love about WoW, is that WoW is constantly evolving. It is constantly changing. And it is actually quite a feat, in my opinion, that they have Classic running on modern database. It's running on the modern engine. That shows some of the ingenuity at Blizzard.
Oh yeah, and since almost everyone has the widescreen format now, you almost can't buy a 4x3.
Yeah,
I understand. That's another big change.
Yes, that they're adding in a widescreen monitor support, and I didn't realize it that there were widescreen monitors back in 2004. I just had like an old CRT. It wasn't even until I think 2010 when I finally moved to a non-CRT monitor. Oh, those things were heavy. I mean, I hated those things. Yeah,
and I know that a 14-inch was the standard price was $150.
Yeah.
Now you can get a widescreen TV for, I tried to find a small one, a 22-inch for the kitchen, and all I could find is one for $100. But if I spent another $50, I'd get like a 30-inch TV. It's like all these parts. It's what sells, and what an age we live in, sir. What an age.
Oh yeah, I saw one. It is a $1,700 monitor, if I got the price right. But what it is, it's a 47-inch monitor that can have two displays on it. So you can have one computer on both of the displays, or two different computers connected to the same monitor. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Okay, the next thing you had to discuss, I'm going to keep you moving, sir.
I appreciate that, because I get distracted.
Well, I'm asking you questions about technology that just to fill my ignorant brain. What about Diablo? More projects? What the heck does that mean?
So I think Blizzard saw how hyped we were and just saw how everybody is like maybe looking a little bit too much into things. And I even had somebody that I trust who is really into Blizzard saying, you might want to temper your excitement for Diablo. I don't know if they know things, but they're pretty good at watching what's going on.
The hype that we had going on, of course, was, we know it's going to be Diablo 4, and we'll have at least concept art, and the maybe or maybe not playable, maybe just a few minutes of playable, but they'll probably have the opening video. I mean, we were talking ourselves into great expectations.
Oh, we were, and like, I'm actually amazed that we have Classic and WoW. So, I mean, but Classic was farther along than I'm going to bet Diablo is. Diablo 4 could be ready for next. Yeah, but Blizzard. So, Blizzard was like, Frazley, you need to temper your excitement. So, I don't play Diablo, but I'm still excited for it. And in fact, I probably will play Diablo 4 now that I've got a PC, so I can play it really well. But yeah, they said BlizzCon's almost here, and they said that they know what we're hoping for. And they said, good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
And they said, evil things ought to take longer. So I think reading that, we're going to get some news that's not quite so Diablo. But if we wait just a little bit longer, we'll get the news we're looking for. And they said they're not ready to announce all of their projects, but they do intend to share some Diablo-related news. WoW had pointed out when we got the Necromancer, there wasn't a What's Next panel, so there is something for Diablo coming, that the fact that we got a What's Next.
I wonder if, this is unlikely, did they just kind of fall behind and they were planning on having more ready, but they didn't? I'm surprised at 2 panels when we've had years where there are no panels.
Yeah, I think Blizzard is working on something. Last year, at the end, there was that awkward moment where you could tell there was something they wanted to announce, but it got sidetracked. I think Diablo, they want to go ahead with it, but knowing Blizzard, they want to do it when it's ready.
Yeah.
They don't want to have another Titan on their hands. No, Titan turned into Overwatch, so it could actually be really good. But so I think that's actually a really good segue into what do we see coming for BlizzCon?
For me, it's Diablo and WoW are 1 and 1A. So all I really am looking forward to now is hanging out and enjoying people and enjoying the music. I've never been very good at predictions, other than I predicted like 5 years in a row. This is the year for Weird Al. This is the year for Weird Al. Other than that, I'm not one for predictions. I know you have an awesome collection of predictions by people in the community. I just look forward to good times, and I think you'll have a good time on the virtual as well.
And I'm thinking that Classic will get something, that because we have even a Classic panel, so they're going to talk about Classic. WoW is going to get some news because there's a What's Next panel, but that could still be Classic. I'm with Ro that there'll be something mobile. It'll either be mobile for Diablo or Warcraft or both, or something we don't even know about. And I have a theory that just came up looking at that. Good things come to those who wait, and even things come to those for longer. Who's been waiting for something for quite a while? And it's a pretty good universe. StarCraft players. They've been waiting for something to come out, and we have a StarCraft podcast, The Pylon Show, at BlizzCon. So I'm going to speculate that we're going to get something with StarCraft this year.
But that was a Diablo, toned down expectations for Diablo. It was not a tone down for StarCraft.
I'm probably going to make somebody mad, but I think StarCraft players have kind of given up hope. I'm kidding, StarCraft players.
Oh, yeah. Diablo 2. I mean, my gateway drug was Diablo, then Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction. And I wasn't going to pay money like WoW, which I don't want to know how many thousands of dollars I put into WoW over the years. But things take a while. But you're right. They have a track record of, when it's right, when it's ready.
And I appreciate that Blizzard likes to wait for things. I like the fact that they also don't give up on properties. They don't close things down after like a year. Yay. They keep things going. I mean, the fact that StarCraft still has servers going, Warcraft still has player servers going. I heard Warcraft servers might be having issues, not WoW servers, but Warcraft 3. But they keep things going. They keep patching things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be surprised in some way this year. That, or it could just be what we all thought, that it's maybe a little bit of mobile, maybe a little bit of, it could be a waiting year. But that's a lot of money for Blizzard to put up for a waiting conference.
Well, they've got their unannounced project. They've been recruiting for at least the past year for Diablo. But then when you think about it, a year is nothing in the game development world. Like 5 years, that's a while, but a year or two is they're just getting started.
Well, like next week, I will be talking with John States. Well, I talked with him in the past, but the episode will go out next week. And John States was working on World of Warcraft for a long time before we got it released. So a game takes a long time. And if people are speculating MMOs, those take a long time too. I decided this week, I wanted to ask the community, give me your most outrageous BlizzCon predictions. Throw out what we know and also patterns and such. But what would you love to be announced? Can be reasonable or totally made up. So, Twitter. Michael says, the next Hearthstone expansion isn't going to be a WoW-oriented one. Instead, it will be a Diablo-themed expansion with cards around the Diablo universe. Along with that, they will announce that a StarCraft game is in the works. Not with Jim, but a different story in the universe. I actually did not read this before I made my prediction about StarCraft. So, Michael, I did not steal your idea. I just copied your text and was going to wait to read it on the show.
That's what he said.
Remedy says, Murloc playable race. Ooh, I would love that. Murlocs or Mechanomes. I'm rooting for those.
Uh-huh.
Hallowed Graves said, with all the hype and controversy from Fortnite and PS4, I'm shooting for deep left field and saying shared progression for Overwatch over all platforms. Alessander shared a post that I think we talked about in an earlier episode, or maybe I just saw it on Alessander's amazing show notes blog. They have a blog and they post some amazing links that I don't see anywhere else. So Alessander, you're awesome. Yeah. But one of the directors said that they are looking at cross skins on different things. The same way how Fortnite now has it where you can play and skin. So I could actually see Overwatch win that way, because Overwatch is poised to take over Fortnite in my opinion, because I think Overwatch is a better universe. I mean, I'm a Blizzard fan, GNOME, so of course I'll say that. I love the universe of Overwatch better. Man, I'm sounding like a Fortnite hater. So Cone says World of Star Diablo Watch. That'd be interesting. Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, and Overwatch.
It says the all-new MMO where you could be a barbarian, an angelic medic, a shaman, or a marine, and adventure to the worlds of Azeroth, Sanctuary, Kar, or Earth.
Ooh, that would be amazing. I would love that.
Oh, what is Kar, or is that Char? Am I showing my ignorance about the universe?
I am not sure, but I know that they say Earth. And I know Overwatch is on Earth, so...
There you go. Oh, and let me read this one. Good buddy Stone, who I've hoisted a few with, he says, in a surprise announcement, Iron Mode will be added in patch 8.2.
That would be great, because that would add back to the hardcore mode. And then I could see it being like, hey, you have your classic, but if you want your classic inside WoW Live, not WoW Classic, we will give you Iron Mode or Classic Mode. I could see them calling it Classic Mode, but it would be really cool. And maybe they get people to want to move over to WoW. And then Food and Fury Snacksroth Edition says Cooking School with GNOME for Nintendo Switch and 3DS. Far reach. But I can see it happening.
Those guys are funny. I really enjoy they do great skits. I haven't tried one of their recipes yet, but I look forward to seeing what they're going to have on tonight's show. I
think they're going to have a lot of great snacks. And I was telling them I love the airport trail mix. Whenever I'm going to the airport and I need something for the flight. You pay a little bit more for the trail mix because their airport food is expensive, but it's so good. I like one that was spicy, one that had like banana chips in it. But yeah, Standing in Fire podcast said new game RPM Racing 2 will be announced. I could see that. And then Ro and Alessander both have some amazing stuff.
Bring it on home.
This is Ro. Diablo will be announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I could see that. Because they're adding Nintendo stuff to Diablo 3 for Switch, so I could see Nintendo adding stuff. Then they said a new Warcraft mobile RTS game will be announced. I could see that too. I remember pictures that somebody was saying of like, there was a picture that was released on Twitter a while back of some Warcraft designers looking at an isometric view. And then Heroes of the Storm, new playable character, Leroy Jenkins. I could really see that being added. That would be really cool too.
Yeah, it would be.
Overwatch will unveil an underwater map. Oh, no, please.
Oh. No, well, you got to have one.
That is true. And then have everybody that I talk to hates Vashir. I love Vashir, but everybody I know hates it. So it'll be a despised map. StarCraft 3. See? Ro, yeah. And I promise I did not see your tweet either. I wrote these down, but I did not look at it. So I did not steal your StarCraft answer.
I wrote these down, but I did not read them. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he's been an honest man up to this point.
I really did not read them because I wanted the live reaction. I wanted me to be able to. And then a Hearthstone Dead Mines and Pirate expansion set. I could really see that. I'm sorry, Michael, about the Diablo one, but I could really see Pirates because we're getting Pirates in 8.1 and Blizzard likes to do things in sets. So I could see WoW getting Pirates in addition to all the awesome Pirates we're getting in BFA. And then I could see them adding Pirates to Hearthstone. And that would really be cool. What if we get a new Dead Mines map? I know we got it in Kata, but it'd be really cool to have another Dead Mines. And then Alessandra said X5 Pig or Maynard's.
I don't know what it means. These are probably StarCraft announcer guys, commentators, you think? Maybe?
So these are two announcers, and I just butchered their names.
Maybe. We're supposed to know.
They want to have a StarCraft announcer pack, so that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
A StarCraft campaign, a BlizzCon St. Louis. Ooh, that would be so cool, and that'd actually be a little bit less than for me to go there than to go to California. I've been to St. Louis a few times. I like that.
Yeah.
The Secret Project is a D&D style single multiplayer adventure in StarCraft or Warcraft universe. Ooh, that'd be awesome too. Have a campaign that people could do for D&D, because that's just become very popular recently. Doing your own D&D campaigns. Ooh, WoW levels gone, replaced by gear score. Now, I don't think they're off on the idea that. I think at some point we could see WoW levels going away. I could see something happening there. Grind, gone. Well, no, I think grind might still there because time sinks and stuff like that. Oh, and they said time sinks gone. Grind and time sinks, sadly, that's part of the MMO thing.
I think you gave her permission to have wild and crazy, outrageous, doesn't have to be reasonable necessarily, can be totally made up.
Absolutely.
I think Alessander is exploring the limits right there.
And I think it's great. You're right. Oh, the next one I love: war chests for every Blizzard esport with proceeds going toward prize pools. I love that because StarCraft has an amazing prize pool. And I know Dota, they sell like their book or of skins every year, and they get like millions. So that'd be really cool. Greatly improved esports coverage and support on Blizzard entertainment sites. Well, and recently I saw Overwatch got a new camera view, so you can now, for the World Cup, see everybody from different angles, and they now have a thing with Facebook. So I think Blizzard is moving along with that. I think Blizzard is working on esports. Ooh, this next one. I'm sorry, Snacksroth, but the Warcraft cookbook has become a line of frozen meals available at grocery stores. Ooh, when I don't want to cook, that would be what I would go for.
Come to the Frozen Throne. We have what's good for you.
That'll be their commercial. Yes, I love that. And then ethnic diversity in WoW humans. I love this too, because I love that we get new sizes of people with Kaltiran. It would be awesome to add in more ethnic diversity.
Yeah, or just a different range of when you're customizing.
Yeah.
You can do it yourself.
Because there are some MMOs that have some amazing character customizations. Someone was telling me that you run into issue with like how many models you're popping up, but some games do a really good behind the scenes stuff. But I bet Alice from Discord could be a really good person to answer my questions on game development, because they're a game developer and they have posted on Twitter some of the things that they do. So Alice says, I predict Blizzard World in real life. The Grand Goldshire Hotel will be built nearby so you can easily wake up and go directly into the park. That would be awesome. I made a prediction last year about Blizzard World happening.
Yeah.
And like that the walls would just like fall down and you would already be in Blizzard World. So like you'd be in the keynote. And then they announced Blizzard World. Now, apparently they've been talking about Blizzard World for a lot longer. So it was one of those, like the universal conscious. We were all just tapping into the same feed or something.
They're really talking about a Blizzard World?
No, but there's the Blizzard World in Overwatch. And now there is that Chinese theme park.
Yeah.
That is based off of Blizzard. So there is a Blizzard World. It's not legal or approved by Blizzard.
I own but don't play Overwatch. So I'm glad I contributed to the well-being of the company. But I need to go find Blizzard World in Overwatch.
I've got a PC now. I own Overwatch and I've got it installed. I told myself when I got this PC, I was going to play Blizzard World. Okay, after this podcast, everybody, I'm going to go play Blizzard World after the podcast is over. I've seen it, but I've always wanted to play it. Now I'll be bad at Overwatch because I'm not that good at FPS. And then Toxic said, can I predict a pop-up mailbox for an unofficial BlizzCon dance contest with rewards including, but not limited to, unofficial gold coin badges? Ooh.
Oh, that would be a great idea. That'd be funny.
I would love to dance on that mailbox.
I'm afraid you would.
Yes. And then they said, on a more serious note, with my self-engineered tinfoil top hat, WoW 8.2, Ny'alotha becomes intertwined into our adventure as N'Zoth becomes more prevalent. In Overwatch, new hero, Junkertown Queen, a woman scorned by Junkrat and Roadhog's thieving antics, tied in with a new Australia Day event, Queen's Revenge.
Cool. I like the idea of moving that holiday bit around the world.
I do too. And it add into Wizards' appeal to global diversity and stuff like that. And then Hearthstone, next theme expansion to tie in with the nostalgia of WoW Classic announcements. Oh wow, these predictions they're so good. I can see all of these happening. Well, maybe most of all these. And then Diablo 3, not D4, but another act or X-Pack that gives birth to the Druid class, a throwback to D2. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm right there. Thank you, Toxic. I'm looking forward to that being true. They got to do something special.
I love the Druids in WoW, so I probably would love the Druids in Diablo. And then they said, with the introduction of Blizzard Legends, Sourfang, and Greymane statues, does that mean that we'll soon be losing both of them due to a series of unfortunate events? They go on to say that, they've both played their parts and are getting a bit stale now. Legends is the key phrase that is really pushing me on this one, but I do believe the sun is setting on them both. I could see it. Sourfang felt like he was at the end of his time in Old Soldier. He almost wanted to give up. He got honor back, but I could see something happening with Sourfang, or Sourfang makes Sylvanas angry. And then Greymane, I think, keeps pushing buttons. So I could see both of them being moved on. And sometimes in story, some of the best stuff is when you kill off a character. I hate to say it, but when you do that, you create emotion. You create intrigue.
Toxic and Fraz, do you plan on continuing a friendship with the folks at Worgen's Hal, or have you just killed off that relationship with Frosty and Kaz?
I'm sorry.
I think you've crossed a line there with even the suggestion.
I'm going to move on then to the Voice from Chicago, the customized dance studio with the brand new transmogrified gear for specific dances. Oh, I would love that. Kind of like the trial style. And then Ali says, in all Murloc game, I shall call it Revenge of the Murlocs survival genre. And then Toxic, who did not talk about killing off Greymane earlier, says that they would also love Murloc Battle Royale. And then Nihar says, Overwatch Battle Royale, mix of shooter and Battle Royale. People can pick whichever hero they want, and it's a 50 or 100 man map. Would be so chaotic, but awesome. And I think Battle Royale is going to happen somewhere. I've heard that Call of Duty is doing great with its Blackout mode, which is its Battle Royale. I could see Overwatch getting Battle Royale.
Now, I think I know what Battle Royale is. That's just sort of last man standing. Everyone can shoot everyone.
Yeah,
and like
it's kind of like in the war movies, everyone like converges, and so everyone starts out, and then it's like deathmatch. Just it's done in a different way. My nephew loves it in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, great and exciting predictions. I hope a number of them come true. And I know there are a lot of long shots in there, but very creative.
Absolutely. I'm excited. And thank you all for adding crazy, just awesome predictions. I will not have a question for the next week, but for the week after, think through what shenanigans would your favorite Blizzard characters get into at BlizzCon. I will post that the Monday after BlizzCon on Twitter and Discord. Just start thinking about what would Reinhardt do? What would Deckard Cain do? What would Mercy do? Just think through your fun stuff. What would Greymane, who won't die, do?
Well, what about also their own characters? What would their own characters do at BlizzCon?
Yes. What would your own character do at BlizzCon?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you, Hawgeye. This has been a great episode. Where can we find you on the interweb?
Well, the only place I'm living now is on Twitter at Hawgeye, and that's HAWGEYE_CTR for Convert to Raid. And that's the only place I'm living right now, although who knows, maybe next year I'll make a redemption run and do my countdown again, but that remains to be seen.
And I definitely want to have you back on FrazlCast because I had a great time tonight, and like the time just flew by.
I've had a great time too. I really appreciate the invitation. Let me shake off my podcast dust a bit.
Absolutely, and then once you get that first bite, it's hard to stop.
The first one's free.
You'll be at BlizzCon, so where can people find you at BlizzCon, or like just if they see you, just like give you a high five? Or
oh, for sure. I never refused a drink or a high five, or to buy someone a drink or a hug or backslap or whatever. And I look forward to having a bunch of fun. I'm going to wear this very same hat. Maybe I'll add a few pins. It's been warm out here, so I may not wear my CTR sweatshirt. I may have to wear a CTR t-shirt, or even my old BlizzCon countdown long sleeve t-shirt. We're all going to have a blast, though.
Absolutely. And I will make it out one year. I'm excited that people are going to have so much fun at BlizzCon. And I love the fact that every year there's a safe place for people to come and have fun. Well, I'm going to head back off to Ironforge.
Adios, my friend.
I'm back at my home of Ironforge until we one day reclaim Gnomergon. So my friends Michael Haidt and Mike Levine of Food and Fury Podcast have the perfect snack for you. Prepare for your well-fed buff before BlizzCon with Food and Fury Snacksroth Edition.
It's time to gather your sword and board. Let's enter the kitchen with Food and Fury. 3, 2, 1.
More than the
Hey everybody, welcome back to Food and Fury Snacksroth Edition, where we deliver you a war-forged snack each week with enough buffs to help you with your battle for Azeroth. Whether you've made roasted boar meat or you've conjured a mage table, we welcome you to Food and Fury. This is Snacksroth Edition, Episode 10. I'm Michael Haidt. Joining me today, the legend, the druid, the PvP machine, Mike Levine. Hello.
Hey, Food fam, good to have you back. Glad to be back. Let's get rolling, Mike.
All right, buddy. Well, with this Headless Horseman holiday event coming to an end, it only means one thing. It means it's time to hop ourselves on a plane or on the couch for either BlizzCon or CouchCon, because it's coming in hot this Friday. And I cannot wait to hear the reveals, all the excitement, the breakout sessions, the little moments where we get to see how the sausage is made. But I'll tell you what, my friend, whether it be a Diablo 4, a Diablo nothing, or even just a good old story about World of Warcraft and where it's going, I think I am ready for this year's con. And our job here at Snacksroth is to make sure you get that well-fed buff. So whether you're traveling, whether you're staying, we got snacks in both situations. Mike, how many snacks do we have this time around?
Not 1, not 2, but 3, no, 4 snacks, my friend.
So this year, Mike, we are not messing around. We're going to give the people 4 snacks. And even within the context of those snacks, we even have options. So, I don't know about you, but I think we're ready to dive right in.
Hey guys, what's going on? Ali here to answer your question about favorite snacks for BlizzCon. I like food, so I like a lot of different things, so I had a hard time really narrowing it down. I had to really give it a lot of thought. But when it comes to finally just getting to watch BlizzCon after all the hype and getting to hear all the amazing news, I kind of am lazy and I want to watch it. And I want to have food with me. So I tend to go for the bag of chips of varying kinds or popcorn. But if I do popcorn, sprinkle a little bit of garlic on that because I love garlic. It's amazing. Keep up the great work. You make me hungry every episode. So thank you for that. Take care.
Ali, thanks for writing in. And for Ali and the rest of the Warcraft community, this episode for you guys. Before we ride into battle and head into that BlizzCon or CouchCon, we know that it is a demanding series of days with all of those presentations, with all of those breakout sessions. We have to give you the energy to get into that battle and get through it all. because you can't be weighed down with those carbs. We got to give you some protein. Do you think Jon Snow eats some chips and dip before he goes into battle? I say nay. All right, pal. Here is our first recipe for Snacksroth for their pre-BlizzCon party. Here we go. You ready?
Let's get into it.
All right. So this is a special dish. This is a roasted chickpea dish. Now you're probably saying, chickpeas? Hold on. Wait a minute. What is a chickpea doing on this menu? But chickpeas are almost like eating nuts or pretzels or something like that, but they've got all the protein and energy, and they're kind of addicting. It's like transmogrifying a bar snack turned into a little bit of a healthier version, and you won't even know because it has jam packed with all these flavors. All right, so this is what you're going to do. You're basically going to approach 3 of these recipes the same way, but there's a little bit of a difference. We're going to get into that just now. All right, for each of these recipes that we're going to give you, you're going to need 1 15-ounce can of chickpeas. You're going to drain them, you're going to rinse them, and you're going to peel off the outside layer of each of the chickpeas. It happens quick. It's not so bad. If you do that, they're going to be crunchier and even more awesome. If you want to go ranch, this is what you're going to do. In a medium bowl, you're going to add your dried chickpeas, your olive oil, thyme, parsley, onion, dill, garlic powder, and pepper. Those are all dry ingredients. Makes it even easier to make. You're going to toss them well to coat them evenly. Then you're going to spread those chickpeas out on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. If you want to go for the spicy roast chickpeas, you're going to take the chickpeas, you're going to mix them in a medium bowl, and you're going to mix together with them the olive oil, cumin, chili powder, cayenne pepper, and salt. Toss those well, then spread those out on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. If you want to go for the garlic parmesan roasted chickpeas, you take your medium bowl, add your dried chickpeas, your olive oil, garlic powder, herbs, and parmesan, and you toss those to coat them evenly. Then you're going to take your chickpeas and you spread those out on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. Now, for every single one of these recipes, you do the same thing. You're going to roast them for 15 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Then you can mix them around on a baking sheet. For each of these recipes, you're going to preheat the oven for 400 degrees. Then you're going to roast your chickpeas for 15 to 20 minutes. Mix them around on the baking sheet, and then roast them for another 15 to 20 minutes until they're golden brown. Let them cool for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you have yourself an awesome BlizzCon snack. And if you're doing CouchCon, well, hey man, they're just waiting for you to bowl for your fine all-day snacking. All right, so how about for our next recipe, we give the people who are traveling to BlizzCon or the pod before the storm, you know, a little something crunchy with some variety. Because like me, I can never figure out what my main is or what my alt is. And like this next dish, you could just dip in and be happy with whatever you pull out. What do you say, man? You ready for some Chex Mix?
You had me at crunchy.
You had me at alts. All right. So you're going to need 9 cups of your favorite Chex cereal. You could mix any kind of variation you want or just get one kind. It doesn't matter. Then you're going to need 1 cup of mixed nuts, 1 cup of bite-sized pretzels, 1 cup of garlic-flavored bagel chips, or regular-sized bagel chips that you break up into 1-inch pieces, 6 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1.5 teaspoons of seasoned salt like Lowry's, 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Then, in a large microwavable bowl, you're going to mix together your cereals, your nuts, your pretzels, your bagel chips, and you set those to the side. Then you grab a small microwavable bowl. You're going to microwave your butter uncovered and high or about 40 seconds or until it's melted. You stir in your seasoning, you pour it all over that cereal mixture, and you stir it until it's evenly coated. Now, take everything and put it in the microwave on high for 5 to 6 minutes. Every 2 minutes, give it a really good stir. Then you're going to spread that all out on a paper towels to cool. You store it in an airtight container, and then you are ready for your BlizzCon salty awesome goodness.
There's nothing like a little savory, a little salty, and a little crunchy.
But Mike, are we done?
No way.
No, Jose. What? No, Jose. Who's Jose? No way, Jose. We are not done.
No way, Jose.
We still have more recipes to give you. Are you ready?
I'm ready for the next.
All right, Ali from Dungeon Fables, you're inspiring us already. But we can't leave you with just some popcorn and garlic. We've got to upgrade your snack. Because BlizzCon is a celebration. It's like going to a wedding or a bar mitzvah. But even better, because when these past hors d'oeuvres come out of your oven, you're going to be ready to rock. Mike, it's Pigs in a Blanket time. Brought to you by Snacksroth. Mike, are you ready, pal?
I'm ready. It's not just any pig. It's a pig in a blanket.
I'm going to yell, but be quiet, because my family is sleeping. You know I'm right. All right, Pigs in a Blanket time. Here we go. So you're going to get yourself an 8-ounce tube of crescent rolls, a 12-ounce package of the mini hot dogs, or you can buy yourself the full-size hot dogs, but you're just going to have to cut those up. Then you're going to get yourself some melted butter, about 4 tablespoons, and coarse salt for the sprinkling. And then if you're me, you're going to get some Dijon mustard without the seeds for dipping. Mike, do you like, just say it. Just say it. Just say it. What do you want with them?
Ketchup.
Oh, why? All right, so what are you going to do? You're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. On a lightly floured surface, you're going to unroll those crescent sheets. You're going to tear them wherever they're perforated. Then you're going to cut each triangle into 3 smaller triangles. Place one of the little small hot dogs or a quarter of one hot dog on the thinner side of each triangle and then gently roll to the thicker side. Then you're going to transfer to a large baking sheet, brush with a little melted butter, and sprinkle with a little kosher salt. Get through all of those hot dogs until you're using up all of those crescent roll pieces, and then you're going to bake them until they're golden brown, about 12 to 15 minutes. Then scrape them off with a little spatula, put them in a plate, grab your mustard. If you're feeling a little inspired, get yourself some of that spicy mustard, or maybe even, don't even say it, no ketchup, or get some of that honey mustard. You see the theme here? It's mustard. And then get yourself a smile, because it's time to have your cocktail party for one.
Or some ketchup.
Don't even say ketchup. All right. Now you're going to have to roll lines. Next one. All right. So our last and final dish is crock pot buffalo chicken dip. It's a little spicy, a little cheesy, a little creamy, and it's got the protein in there with that chicken to keep you going the whole night long. Because when that BlizzCon keeps on going and you're hanging out wherever you are in the country, you want to keep your eyes tuned to all the fun, the attention, the esports, the reveals, and Diablo part. We don't know. So here we go for Crockpot Buffalo Dip, because it's spicy like Diablo, but we don't know if it's part 4 or part 3 with another expansion. But either way, we're going in hot. So Crockpot Buffalo Chicken Dip, here we go. You're going to need 1 rotisserie chicken. You're going to shred it all up. 3 blocks of cream cheese, 8 ounces. 2 cups of shredded cheddar. 3/4 of a cup of buffalo sauce. And 1/2 cup of ranch dressing. Then you're also going to need for serving 1/2 cup of crumbled blue cheese, some freshly chopped chives. You know what? We don't need that. Get yourself some sliced baguettes, some celery sticks, some carrots, and maybe, whatever's in your kitchen that needs to be dipped into this dip. So grab your crock pot, your chicken, your cream cheese, your cheddar, your buffalo sauce, and your ranch. Then you're going to cook it on low for 3 hours until everything is nice and melty and ooey gooey and happy. Then when the time is right, and you found out whatever expansion, whatever game, whatever release that you're looking for, or not because you're sad, you're going to get your topping of your blue cheese and your chives, and you're going to serve it with a dipper of your choice. And when you run out of dippers, don't you worry, my friends. It's a crock pot. It'll stay warm. So if you got to go knocking on your neighbor house or do looking for more in trade chat, you'll be just fine, because when you get those dips and we're ready for that dip, with that chip, with that flip, when you got that stuff all ready to be dipping in this stuff, it'll be waiting for you nice and warm as you go in for another round. If you want to go mythic, because some of you want to go mythic. Well, look, man, we're chock out of options. Just get yourself a bottle of my Lanta, and I think it's going to be all right. All right, my friend of the Grumbles, I think that's going to do it for our Food Buff for All. We gave you the Food Buff to get through your con before the storm, your CouchCon, or your BlizzCon. No matter where you are or what you're doing, we hope you have a great BlizzCon and take care of each other and enjoy some tasty treats. You can find this show, social media, this recipe, and many more on our website at foodandfury.com. And if you get a chance, give us a shout on iTunes, even if your blood runneth blue. And of course, a big thanks to the one and only gnome that has Horde street cred, Frazley. For the Horde.
For the Alliance.
And for the food, that's going to do it for me, for Mike. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Michael and Mike. I'm just salivating some amazing snacks. We're going to need those while we are on Team Virtual Ticket for BlizzCon. So now that we've eaten, what time is it?
Let's look at what has been happening in the community.
Awesome. Let's do that. The fact that BlizzCon is basically this week, when you're listening to this, if you listen to this the week of the download, then there are a ton of BlizzCon parties happening. So we first have Con Before the Storm with World of Podcasts, which I was just on yesterday, even though I'm recording this before the World of Podcast panel. Time travel! And then there are streamer meet and greets with a lot of awesome streamers out there. I've talked with a few and I've seen the list, and there were some amazing people. And then a fireside gathering. So check out conbeforestorm.com, and I've got a link in the show notes to their website for the list of the streamer meet and greets, access to the World of Podcast panels, RSS feeds, and information on the Fireside gatherings. And then there is also DitchCon, which will be October 31st. Bella Ponecast has put on an amazing party this year. It will be from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. on the first floor of the Hilton in the Avalon Ballroom. So definitely go on over and check it out and give them all a high five and say, "Hey, from Frazley!" And then Wildhead is their BlizzCon 2018 party, and they will also be having panels that they'll be streaming, as well as the meet and greets. So the Wildhead party is Thursday, November 1st from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Hilton Anaheim. The panels will be streamed online, so they have a schedule of the panels and the meet and greets. And then also on Thursday, there will be the Blizz Nerds party at Thursday, November 1st from 6 to 10 p.m. And it's in one of the Hilton ballrooms. The Hilton is going to be a rockin' place this entire week. Say hi to the DJ for me. One year I want to go out and hear about this DJ that is infamous. And then CTR, the guild that I'm a part of, they've been teasing a lot of events. So join the CTR Discord and check the meetups channel. That will have information on what meetups are happening. And then Lagging Balls will be giving out buttons. I bought one from Etsy, and these are awesome buttons. And if I understand right, there will be a virtual ticket watch party in Discord. And then I probably have missed some events, but there's so much good stuff going on this year. So definitely keep an eye out on Twitter. Keep an eye out on different podcasts. When BlizzCon comes to Anaheim, Anaheim comes to BlizzCon. Frazley, that didn't work. But you know what did work? Instalock has a 9 days Battle for Azeroth parody. So Nihar posted this on the Sparkspans Discord. I'm always up for any parodies of the Bare Naked Lady songs. They had one that was awesome. If I had $1 million, I'd be rich. Yeah, Bare Naked Ladies is an amazing band. And then finally, you can win an awesome dual monitor mount from All Things Azeroth. Echo Gear has teamed up with All Things Azeroth for a giveaway. I was lucky enough to win one, and I'm actually staring at it right now. Love it. Head on over to allthingsazeroth.com, answer their question of the month, which is, what are you most looking forward to from BlizzCon? They'll be announcing the winner on November 5th, so right after BlizzCon. And again, this is an amazing mount, so definitely enter. I did not expect to win, and I am just blown away that I won. So you know what? You too can be like me. Well, it's another classic episode of FrazlCast. I'll be part of Don Ford's coverage of BlizzCon from home. Keep an eye out on the All Things Azeroth Twitter account at allthingsaz. There'll be more details as we get closer to BlizzCon. And also join the All Things Azeroth Discord for coverage, and it is a great group of people there. You will see me there on Monday nights for live shows when my schedule permits. And then this upcoming episode of FrazlCast, we have the interview with John Stats. Was a great time. I had a lot of fun. So look for that coming out soon. Well, I am Frazley, and you can find the show at FrazlCast.com. Until next week, be awesome.
BlizzCon 2018 is quickly approaching, and so is the 6th annual World of Podcasts presented by Con Before the Storm and Medieval Times. With well over 55 different podcasts expressing interest in participating, this year's World of Podcasts will include content taking place before, during, and after Con Before the Storm. The entertainment begins on October 28th at 4 p.m. US Pacific Time with a Warcraft-focused Pod Before the Con, followed at 7 p.m. with a Pod Before the Con previewing Con Before the Storm and covering all Blizzard franchises. These two panels can be heard live at twitch.tv/ConBeforeStorm. The core of our World of Podcast programming will be recorded on the 4th floor of the Anaheim Hilton, taking place during Con Before the Storm from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. US Pacific Time. This event is entirely free and open to the public, so if you're in the California area, do consider joining us. All of these panels will be available on the podcast feed for World of Podcasts shortly after the conclusion of the event. We'll wrap up our coverage of BlizzCon with a podcast recorded from Anaheim on Day 2 of BlizzCon at 2 p.m. US Pacific Time, which we'll also post to the feed as soon as possible. We can't wait to share this gathering of voices from throughout the Blizzard podcast community with you. Make sure to follow @World of Podcasts and @ConBeforeStorm on Twitter for news and updates, and for more information, visit conbeforestorm.com.
This Halloween.
Are they still alive? Let's poke them with a stick to find out. Perkins, stop eating that candy corn.
Halloween Slasher Story 2.
Avoid contact with Buxley. Buxley here to answer your World of Warcraft questions in this edition of Ask Buxley. This question is about turtles. Cardinal writes, "Hey Buxley, why do the turtles want to get to the water anyway? And why do the gulls and crabs want to stop them?" Okay, here's the deal. Everybody loves the beach, and I mean everybody, but this can be a real problem sometimes. Back when the dinosaurs were headed to the beach every weekend, it was nearly impossible to sunbathe anywhere. No place to put towels down. Now, the seagulls and crabs who actually lived by the beach did everything they could to get rid of the dinosaurs. So between the seagulls dive-bombing the dinosaurs and the crabs pinching at their toes, they finally got rid of the dinosaurs and they moved inland. And that was fine for a while until the turtles figured out that no one was at the beach anymore and they could come in and start heading for the water. The seagulls and crabs see this and think, "Hey, we got rid of the dinosaurs. How tough can a few turtles be?" Which is kind of weird because you wouldn't think that seagulls and crabs could speak the same language, but there you go. Anyway, they get together and start trying to get rid of those teeny tiny little turtles. Never heard a thing in their brief lives. Well, sure, maybe you accidentally step on one and go sliding across the beach on one foot, arms waving all over the place, but that's not the turtles' fault, and they didn't get hurt anyway. So the next time you get a chance, help get rid of those seagulls and crabs. They just want a beach for themselves, and if you ask me, that's just being shellfish. Thanks for your question. If you'd like to know what I've been up to every day, follow Ask Buxley on Twitter. If you like the segment, please take the time and rate it on iTunes. Turtles are squishy, friend!
Welcome to the Frazley Report, a short news report by me, Frazley, the awesome gnome, to deliver your World of Warcraft news. So it is time for Mask and Candy. It is Hollow's End! So I already have my The Hollow title, but I still need to get toys. And there's a really new awesome one, the new Headless Horseman Hearth toy. Ali says it is an awesome toy, so I'm working on getting that. But you know, Hollow's End also means we are nearing close to BlizzCon. So Blizzard unveiled some more information on the classic demo, like specifics on how it'll... Who could that be? Ah! What a cute little mecha gnome! I don't have any candy. Here is, here's a copy of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix on Blu-ray. Yikes! I wasn't expecting trick-or-treaters. Illidan, no, just no. Okay, where was I? Yes! The classic demo should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to digging deep when it comes out. And one of my sources at Blizzard has told me that WoW will soon be playable on smart speakers. This will be limited to mission tables, that can be part of your morning flash briefing. Wake up, say, "Hey, what are my tables?" Get a status update, then say, "Send so-and-so on such and such a mission." I'm looking forward to this. It'll be a lot of... Huh? Another one? Oh, my gnomeness! You are Khadgar! That is awesome! Here is a signed photo of Will Wheaton. I like this one, but I don't want to disappoint someone who made an awesome costume. I'm going to miss that photo. Oh, well. Yes! So 8.1 is on the PTR. Lots of cool things like a Gelbin Mechatorque model. I'm looking forward to seeing where Blizzard uses this in 8.1. Seriously? I didn't leave my porch light... Wait, it is on. Who turned it on? I intentionally turned it off. Come on, not fair. You don't drop your mount and you toy with me during a report? Okay, so I'm going to end it here. I keep getting interrupted. Well, this has been the Fraz Report. Until next time, be awesome. I gotta go find something to give this trick-or-treater. Yes! My prized collection of belt buckles with Nobragon symbols on them. I'm really going to miss that.
Attention. Have you or someone you love become tired of listening to the same old World of Warcraft podcasts? Have you converted one too many weekly instances into lagging roundtables? Then come on down and listen to the only show for the everyday World of Warcraft player, the Unshackled Fury podcast. With insider analysis from two players who've seen it all and probably taken one too many shots to the head, the Unshackled Fury podcast covers all the news and notes you need to know in and out of the world of Azeroth. So come download the show now on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play today.
The Unshackled Fury podcast contains strong language, and listeners of the show must be accompanied by an adult at all times. Listen responsibly.
FrazlCast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard Games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.